So I'm going to start this video off with saying that I never planned on doing a lore video during this secret project thing, but with the new Mirage and Horizon teasers they've been dropping, I have to at least cover the Mirage stuff that's going on for a little bit. It's not going to be a whole big video because, once again, I still don't know the direction they're taking this Mirage lore in. But today, we got King's Canyon back. And when we got King's Canyon, we got a bunch of Mirage lore. We got the Mirage Voyage on King's Canyon, by the way, right above where Skulltown was. And we got another phone call with Mirage in Evelyn, which is Mirage's mom, Elliot's mom. So this is crazy. This is crazy. There's a lot of lore to pick up from this. I don't know what it means potentially for the game, and I'm gonna make some assumptions, but not a whole lot, just because there isn't a whole lot of dots to connect just yet. And the reason I don't want to keep sitting on this is because these clips are going to keep building up and building up and building up, and it's going to be really hard to find them to do a lore video on, just because I'm going to have probably 40 more gigabytes worth of Apex clipped content afterwards. So if I don't do it now, it's going to be really hard to get it. So I'm just going to do myself the favor of uploading it now. This is my lore video I'm giving you guys for a little bit. Hopefully this can keep you satisfied until I can get a better lore video out and all that stuff. But anyways, let's get into the video. So, like I said, in King's Canyon, on the Mirage Voyage, you can find a phone, which I believe is a voicemail to Mirage from Evelyn, which once again is Mirage's mother. Now, if you don't recall, we already got one phone call from Mirage leaving a voicemail to Evelyn back in Season 3 when the Mirage Voyage first made its appearance. And we got a lot of good stuff from that. We learned about Mirage's mom. We learned about his lore. We learned about all that stuff. So here, this phone call, I'll show it here in a couple of seconds. We learn more about Mirage, his family history, and what it could potentially mean for Season 8. This could play a huge role in Season 8. Go into it right now.
Attention, the key leader has been eliminated.
You have syringes? Okay. That's fine. Better than nothing. It's just so at least I don't die immediately when I get short up on, so I can fucking listen to this shit.
Patching myself up.
Okay. Alright.
Oi, Mirage. It's Blisk, the Apex Commissioner. And holograms are now banned. Bamboozled you, honey. It's Mom. I got the flowers. I love marigolds. They're from our song. Oh, how beautiful they are. They're for someone's birthday. It says, "Happy birthday" on it. I'll check with my kids. I never know where they are nowadays. I don't have an answer. My brain's just... I think it's the thing.
Rings far,
Whatever you
and
call
we've got
it.
about a minute.
I heard this happens. It happens to people. I'm tired. I had a dream the other night.
Spotted an
Everyone
enemy
kept
over
telling me I'm dying.
far ring, 45 left.
Except Uncle Droz.
Left.
Except Uncle Droz.
Left.
Except Uncle Droz. Miss my brother. Davis. Oh, they always made me laugh. Like Elliot. He's celebrating his 2nd anniversary of competing in the games. Oh, and there's a girl, too. He started to talk about that. Oh, it's cute. He's grown up so fast. I'm looking at an old picture of Elliot when he was 10 or so. And next to him is his brother, Elon, and, Ricky, and Roger.
Half gone,
They're
half
beautiful.
left.
Call me when you get the chance. You're gonna go far, my little inchworm.
Progress.
I love you so much.
Rings coming
Even
in.
with your silly hair. Happy anniversary, honey.
Holy shit! We made it the entire way without getting fucking murdered. Okay, so let me talk about the whole thing in a summary, and then I'll start to dissect the parts, because there's a lot of things to take away from this, context clues, and things that we may want to analyze, but we don't want to overanalyze because this call could mean a lot, but it could also not mean a whole lot. So, one of the first things to note is that when Evelyn is talking to Mirage, she acknowledges that she is talking to him, and that she is basically self-aware that Mirage is her son.
Oi, Mirage. Bamboozled you, honey. It's Mom. I got the flowers. I love marigolds. They're from our song.
In the middle, towards the middle of the conversation, maybe towards like 3/4 of the way towards the end, she talks about Mirage as if he wasn't there in the voicemail, as if she was talking to someone else or herself.
Oh, they always made me laugh. Like Elliot. He's celebrating his 2nd anniversary of competing in the games. Oh, and there's a girl, too. He started to talk about that. Oh, it's cute. He's grown up so fast. I'm looking at an old picture of Elliot when he was 10 or so. And next to him is his brother, Elon, and, Ricky.
Like, she's lost, okay? Like, she has no clue that Mirage is there, or, like, she's losing her train of thought. You can see her pausing. She struggles to say Mirage's brother's names, her own sons, right? She doesn't mention the father, which, once again, Mirage said that, his father's a deadbeat, so maybe there's something in play there. Maybe we don't know anything about the father. Maybe he did something so disgraceful that not even she would mention him, right? Either way, we're seeing that her mind is, there's something wrong. It's some kind of dementia or Alzheimer's. Now, it's most likely something like amnesia, because it happened from a traumatic event. Something at her time during the IMC, which triggers events, which you can see from the Season 6 quest, causes her to get hurt. Whether it's neurologically or it affects their memory, but it's a health risk to her. And because of that, that means there was a trauma that happened that caused her either from putting past memories together or from putting future events together, which is amnesia. I don't remember if it's retrospect amnesia or if it is the other amnesia. Either way, we can see that this is having a direct effect on her, but we also don't know if this is necessarily amnesia. Now, this is what my train of thought is because this is the best way for me to make a connection. It could technically be dementia, and it could be Alzheimer's, because one thing we're seeing is that this seems progressive.
For someone's birthday, it says happy birthday on it. I'll check with my kids. I never know where they are nowadays. I don't have an answer. My brain's just... I think it's a thing.
Rings far,
Whatever you
and
call
we've got
it.
about a minute.
I heard this happens. It happens to people. I'm tired.
His mom seems to be getting worse. In fact, I think that it's going to be a very, very dark season for next... for the next couple of weeks, we maybe get a teaser here. The next season's going to be dark for Mirage. She says that I had a dream where everyone told me I was dying.
I had a dream the other night.
Spotted an
Everyone
enemy
kept
over there.
telling me I'm dying.
Far ring, 45 left.
Except Uncle Droz.
This is something that I've always said that was very possible and could very well happen. Now, I did this and said this and talked to my friends about it before I did lore videos because I was never really comfortable with doing lore videos. Either way, this is something that's very, very possible. It's sad. It's very connecting to Mirage's character because with Mirage, he's very difficult at letting people go, and that's why he pushes people away. It's a part of his personality. His personality is a Mirage, right? Well, his mom, if she is dying, which I really do think is the case, is going to heavily contribute to the way Mirage is in Season 8, as I do think that Mirage is going to be centered in Season 8 again, and I'll get into that later. Once again, I'm just dissecting the video. But shortly after she says, everyone tells me I'm dying, she says, except Uncle Droz, who she is now referring to Mirage, his uncle, or her brother. She said, I miss my brother. And Davis. Okay, this is huge. I will play that section again and cut it right here, and then let you hear it again, and then I'll analyze who they were and what this could mean, or like what it means to the character development.
Except Uncle Droz. Oh, they always made me laugh. Like Elliot.
here you can see Droz and Davis, who you can kind of see where Mirage gets his personality and influence from these two, because, well, they're together all the time. And you can kind of see what they do, especially in Titanfall 2. And in the screenshots, you can kind of see how Mirage gets his character. I don't want to go too deep into that because that's not the purpose of this video. Anyhow, so Droz and Davis are, in fact, from Titanfall 2. They fought in the 6-4 faction in the campaign with Jack Cooper, and in Frontier Defense, they created their own faction that was indeed called Drove and Davis's Last Resort. So, or Resource, or something like that. They created their own faction. I'm not going to get into as why, although I will say there is a really good lore video that just came out by Kev the King, who does a very good job tying that in, and I'm not going to do it because, well, I don't want to take that away, or feel like I'm stealing from him, because that's just, it's not right to do. So go check that one out if you want to see that. And I don't really think this has any significance just yet.
I dropped it. I didn't think you wanted it.
I think that we need more info about what's going to happen. The only thing that I think that we can pull from here is that the 6-4 used to work in Fringe Worlds. I think that that might be the only significance. So because a Fringe World is being brought to the Syndicate, that means that maybe the 6-4 has withdrawn from the area they're from, or maybe that they're going to attack the Syndicate, or something like that. I have no clue if that has any significance, or if it even is going to be a thing. It's just a possibility. I'm just trying to assume why they would bring Droz into the game, although I'm not complaining that they did. So the other part, I don't want, like I said, I don't want to theorize too much, because we need more information, and that's kind of what I'm sitting on. But at the same time, I don't want to wait forever. I want to get this out, and I want to get it out now. The other part of the video that I want to get into is why I think this is going to be Mirage's mom dying, why it's going to be Season 8, why it ties in with Wraith, and why it all kind of connects. So, if you haven't watched my lore video on Wraith and Mirage, I'm going to be using this reference for my connection that I'm about to make. So, now to ignore redundancy and all that good stuff, like I said, I'm going to be referring to my my lore video for Mirage and Wraith, and the fact that this video supports that video, and that video actually supports this one when it comes to connections and lore and all that great stuff. So, first off, I want to say, because what is happening, it makes sense that it'll be Wraith. With everything that went on last season, it'll make sense that the girl that he was talking about was Wraith. Because he had to call her, Evelyn, and ask her about Dr. Renee and about files about her in order to get Renee's birthday files, to get her stuff to get her birthday, right? So he had to talk to Evelyn about that in order to find out Wraith's birthday. And because of that, Evelyn knows that Mirage is talking about Wraith. It's kind of sudden, it's random, so she's gonna think of it as something special. Now, I don't know. I'm going to be very careful here because I don't want to make this a shipping video. But it's very possible that's the direction they're going. Once again, if you look at the Mirage and Wraith video with how that they're basically doing a ship for Mirage and somebody. We don't know if it'll be Wraith or Rampart, but it'll be one of the two. Preferably, most likely Wraith. But either way, that doesn't matter. So, we're going to get into right here, which are screenshots of what Tom Casiello has tweeted very, very recently, as in, like, December, like, late December, like, super late November, early December, late December-ish. So this first screenshot adds to what I was saying. We have someone who says, Tom Casiello, I can see you're answering a lot of questions, so Mirage and Wraith interactions canceled or delayed? And he replies with, oh, poor Wraith fans, they are just delayed. They were taken out of Season 6 as they got the comics instead, which were super interactive with Wraith and Mirage. They supposed to be moved to Season 7, but slipped their cracks and roles and were changed internally and shifted responsibilities by time, blah, blah, blah. Realized the deadline is passed and they didn't make it in time. Hopefully they're in Season 8. I wasn't planning on doing a dialogue for Season, but I'm not sure what made it through. Okay, so that's the first tweet. Kind of rushing it here because I don't have much time to work with. Contempt and superiority. This is a reply to Someone asking, hello, as for what you mentioned about Mirage / Wraith interactions, can we expect some sort of flirt and contempt superiority in these ... Contempt superiority? That sounds toxic. I prefer writing them in good nature, sense of humor, and affectionate acceptance of the other's quirks. He needs to be more serious, and she needs to lighten up. And always unconditionally honest and respect, no matter what. Now, that sounds pretty good for a friendship. That sounds like something that they would do, and it's something that, for one, that they've needed for a while, and for two, it kind of adds to, because we haven't gotten it, and because Wraith and Mirage are supposed to have voice lines in season 8, allegedly, according to Tom Cassiello. It kind of builds up this thickness that there's a possibility that we're going to be seeing this in season 8. And someone said that the Mirage community comics from last season, meaning season 6, were some of my favorite comics, lore-related items so far. I guess my problem is that I can't get enough of it no matter how much is released. And Tom Cassiello replied with, mine too. It was an honor to write them, and there are more on the way. Keep in mind that this is all during season 7. So this is very relevant. This is after season 6's stuff. This means that, okay, it's past the extra stuff we got from season 6. It's done with that. So he's talking about in the future relevant. Okay, if we're getting more Mirage comics, if we're getting more on the way, right, that means probably soon. If we take in the Mirage lore that we just were teased with Evelyn, with the Mirage lore that was in season 6, if we take in the 2 screenshots that I have earlier on Twitter about Tom Cassiello with the with the Wraith quotes and voice lines, and the it just makes sense when you take these 2 screenshots and then this screenshot here and put them together. It's kind of a consensus, or like a synthesized form of saying that it is very likely, if you take all of this lore that we've been getting recently and tying it into season 8. Now, you could make the excuse and say that, well, Brian, he says more Mirage comics on the way. Maybe he means Pathfinder's Quest. I say no, because he also stated that every legend is going to be in Pathfinder's Quest. It's not about just Pathfinder. Every legend is going to have a piece in this book. So, if he's already stated that, he has no reason to state that there's more Mirage comics on the way and refer to Pathfinder's Quest, because it's going to be every legend, right? It just makes sense to me that way. So this means that he's talking about seasonal quest comic pages for seasons. He didn't directly state comic pages, but it's almost it is pretty much inferred. Because the person was talking about comic pages and there were more on the way. So, we're probably, most likely, going to be seeing Mirage in Season 8. We're going to see his character develop, and we're going to see it change. We're going to see... And the reason I'm kind of making this vague and not so specific is because I'm not sure. Nothing is guaranteed. And we can't be 100% sure that this is confirmed. It's not confirmed. This is just me analyzing the fact that we've been given the Mirage lore in Season 6 that hit really hard, right? With his mother. And then we go into how Mirage talked to Evelyn about Wraith in order to get her IMC confidential files so he could give her a birthday. As in, I'm sorry, I fucked up, I'm really sorry. And she obviously had an extremely emotional reaction to it, which ties in with the Season 6 stuff that I talked about in my Mirage and Wraith lore video, explaining how that she might have feelings for him and he might have feelings for her, or maybe they're just really good friends, you know, whatever. This ties into the fact that Evelyn, in this phone call, says that, and he started talking about a girl, it's cute, blah 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 blah. Point being that that strengthens my lore video, and my lore video also strengthens the fact that because they're going in this direction with the lore, they're gonna build off of it, right? Because of these screenshots and the lore that we have been given, this is all confirmed stuff, by the way. Like, this is all, I shouldn't say confirmed, this is all stuff that we've been given that isn't leaked. None of this is leaks, so this is all directly given by the devs in some shape or form. That's something important for me to note as well. I don't do leaks. I just don't. They're not my thing. Because we have these 3 screenshots that are massive because it confirms that we are getting more Mirage stuff. That is confirmed. We are getting more Mirage stuff. We don't know if it's going to be Season 8, but we know we are getting it relatively soon. And because of the alleged Mirage Wraith voice lines that are coming Season 8, hopefully, according to Tom Cassiello, nothing is confirmed about that. It is just very likely. And because of the stuff that they're teasing now, at the end of the season, to go into next season, I believe that we are going to be seeing an entire series of events about Mirage and Wraith, whether it be friendship or whatever it may be, evolving in Season 8. That's all I got today, guys. I'm going to wait for more to come out, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I can catch you all next time. Actually, I lied. One more thing. Okay, so as I was going back through and checking all my editing to make sure everything's good, you know, to upload and make sure it all makes sense, I wanted to make sure that I made it clear that, once again, I believe that Evelyn is going to die. As sad as that may sound, and it's going to dramatically affect Mirage, right? It is going to take a toll on him, assuming that she does die. Now, I don't know if it's going to be in the transition from Season 7 to Season 8, or if it's going to be in the alleged Mirage comics we get in Season 8. Now, once again, it's not confirmed we get him in Season 8, but it's very likely. If we do get those, and Mirage's mom does die, we're going to see a huge change in Mirage, and in my opinion, it is going to be up to the Legends to try to change that, but it's not going to be all the Legends. It's going to be a specific character or specific characters that play a role in him. I don't think it's going to be Pathfinder, because Pathfinder has a whole Ash and Pathfinder's quest thing going on. The only way that Pathfinder can play a huge role in it is if this Evelyn stuff takes place during Pathfinder's quest in timeline-wise, so that Pathfinder is able to try to cheer him up in Season 8.
Nice! I sniped him too!
But I don't think that's the case. I think that Pathfinder's got his own stuff that's really, really going on here that he needs to focus on. I think it's going to be Wraith. I don't think it's going to be Rampart, because of the lawsuit stuff that she's got going on with Hammond. And potentially Bliss coming in Season 8. Listen, I got hope. I don't believe in leaks. Okay? So I'm not going to say it's Fuse. I'm going to say it's Blisk, because 2nd year anniversary makes sense, blah, blah, blah. If Bliss comes in the game, Rampart is going to be very distracted, because she knows Blisk very well, and she's going to be very enticed by it in conversations and stuff like that. So, it's not going to be Rampart. Most likely, it's going to be Wraith, because she's got her own issues to deal with. I kind of feel like he's going to scratch her back, and she's going to scratch his kind of concept, with helping them both with their issues that are going on. Her internal struggle and his. Alright, now this is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and hope you have an amazing day.